What is the most memorable press conference that you ever covered?
Oh, I think there's only one that really well, the one that really stands out. I was sitting in the front row for this one, and I just was I mean, it was pretty amazing. I mean, the stuff that was going through my mind. It was Mike Singletary's first press conference
I
as a head
Want
coach.
Winners, that one?
Yeah, and I'm just, like, thinking, like, "Oh, is this like a Saturday Night Live skit? Like, what is going on here?" Including the part where he says, "I'd rather play with 10 guys and get penalized," and I'm thinking, "Wow, he doesn't even know the rules." Like, that was I remember thinking, like, "Should I be concerned? Like, is this guy having some sort of episode?" That certainly was one of them. Or, I mean, that's clearly number 1. Um, Jim Tomsula's first press conference was a doozy. It was I remember walking into that press conference room after he got hired, and the press conference room was colder than it's ever been. It was probably, you know, mid to low 50s in there,
Oh my
and I
gosh.
just remember how much Tomsula was sweating. Um, and I remember I think it was Matt Barrows asked him about, like, what kind of offense are you guys going to run? What's going to be and at that point, I don't think we even knew at that point who his staff was.
Right.
And he tried like heck to put together a staff, and nobody would want to come work for him. And so he kind of rambled around a little bit about what the offense would look like. And then Trent Baalke, who was up there, like basically grabbed the microphone and said, "I think in there somewhere," he said, "we're going to run the ball." And I was like, "Oh boy, who's in charge here?" Uh,
Yeah.
another one that stands out, and this is from the early years, was the uh, Steve Mariucci. Oh no, it wasn't Steve Mariucci. It was the George Seifert press conference where he stepped aside as head coach, and at that point, Mark Trestman was the
Mm.
offensive coordinator, and somebody asked about Trestman's future as offensive coordinator, and it was like kind of a not great scene. Is like the guys were Carmen Policy passed the microphone to George, and George's like, "I'm not the coach here anymore," and he passed the microphone to somebody else. And then Eddie DeBarlo just got on the mic and said, "He's gone." And so those are some 3 memorable ones that really stand out.
Last year I asked the same question to Matt Barrows, and he mentioned the Tomsula introductory press conference, and I think he said that after the press conference that you guys looked at each other and said, "Well, see you here next year." This
You know what?
time.
I wasn't gonna mention Barrows because I didn't know, but he's the one who said that.
Right.
And it was pretty dang funny. We were walking out of that press conference room. It was me and him, and he said that. He said, "Well, guess we'll be back here next year." And I remember thinking, like, I remember hearing like people talking about winning the press conference. That was a big thing in like college or whatever. You win the press conference. Tom Sula did not win the press conference. He lost it